Hello, this is Warpath 1985 speaking, and in day 4 of the 12 Days of War, I shall be discussing the Master Universe Origins Deluxe King Hiss. Now, King Hiss is obviously the leader of the Snake Man in the Master Universe general lore and etc. But he's not really technically the only leader of the Snake Man. There is another, which we'll get to a little later, comes to the comparisons. Check out another video. Aside from that, King Hiss is unique for being one of the few general figures to still retain most of his parts to be exclusive. The only things that aren't really technically exclusive to him as of recent would be his arms, or technically his his forearms, his boots, his head, his torso, his armor piece, and technically his lower torso. But other than that, his other accessories have been reused with other figures and general characters. Even armor builders like Necroconda reusing the King Hiss's head, or really his real head, for that figure, which looks very strange. I don't understand why they didn't use any other head, or make even exclusive, unique general head for that figure. But it works, especially since the figure is supposed to be undead zombies. So I don't know. It works, also doesn't. Aside from that, the figure does come with a lot of accessories and obviously a bunch of other bits here and there. King Hiss is also generally unique to most other Master Universe Origins or general villains of the Master Universe series, where he only really appeared in 2000X and various storybooks, comics, etc., but not really in the original Filmation series. However, his other cohorts and general members of the Snake Man did appear in the Filmation series, in both He-Man and She-Ra, that being Rattler, Tongue Lasher, and Cobra Khan. You know, yes, at the time Cobra Khan was really associated with the Snake Man. It would be retconned within the 2000X series to be associated with the Snake Man, which made a lot of sense since Snake Man are technically just encompass the most reptilian species. There are other reptilian general species, general reptoid, etc., in the Master Universe. And general is a little weird. The best to describe it. Comes to Cobra Khan's general case. Aside from that, King Hiss only really appeared in both 2000X and technically kind of ish the He-Man in the Master Universe TV show, the CJ, it won them by Netflix, because he's supposed to be the giant, like, snake abomination that was formed from both, kind of like all the general Snake Men that Skeletor summoned. But other than that, he just didn't appear in another arena, which sucks, but it's okay. Because General King Hiss and most of the Snake Men are very just niche. They're cool, I really like them, but they're very niche and very hyper-specific for like a faction, that is, even though the faction is very intertwined with my He-Man lore. Obviously, the accessories that does come up would be the standard Snake Man staff in a lime green. This weird, strange, like lime, slime, neon, general shade of green. It's the same stuff as most other Snake Man. Serves its purpose in general, looking pretty neat. We also have a shield, which was exclusive and mostly exclusively used by King Hiss in most of the Master Universe tour lines, but has been used more recently with other figures, like I believe it was no, it's not Fangor's. I can't remember his name. He's weird, like Fangman, Snake Man repaint. putting him here. And also a few others. I believe also Necroconda is also part of that. But other than that, the shield has been used a couple of other times. Also, yes, shield can technically rotate, but I don't think it's technically recommended because it's actually no, it is recommended because it actually is for a second I thought it was screwed in there, but no, it's just rotated, which is pretty neat. Besides that, other accessories are part of this general transformation. His snake arms, which are still exclusive with this general figure, unlike his other accessories. I'm trying to focus, but it's very tough since they're very bright. But yeah, there's little snake arms, or bigger, very big snake arms, and his real head, which obviously I mentioned before was reused for Necroconda. Again, I find it pretty confusing because it just fits with King Hiss a lot more. Because King Hiss is an amalgamation of various snakes, if you couldn't tell, which I'll get to a little later because it's a gimmick. But first, I'd like to mention his articulation because it's somewhat unique. Because it's a little bit more, a little bit less in certain areas, like. His hinged shoulders are pretty much the same. Hinged elbows also, which are slightly better. Hinged wrist and swivels. Swivel waist. A pretty much standard Master Universe Origins kick, knee, back, calf cut, ankle rocker, and hinge. But the head is uniquely very, very kind of expressive because unlike other figures, because it is a general armor piece, which I'll get to later, it does mean that it looks a lot more expressive unlike other figures, which is interesting because if you don't know, I'll mention this right now, this is not his real head, obviously, and it's technically supposed to be like a fake head, which I'll get to a little later. Character tried to take advantage of that and almost killed him in the mini comic. The mini comic that was included with King Hiss was the Heart of the Snake. It was a mini comic that generally depicts the battle between Zoar, sorceress, King Hiss, and He-Man, this being Thunder Punch He-Man, and also it depicts all the heroes being obviously turned into Snake Man, and then obviously Thunder Punch He-Man curing them from their curse. It's pretty cool. We do get a little bit of a tease to a future mini comic that was released with the good old Eternia playset. And you see the figures are released in this general wave, that being King Hiss, Rattler, Cobra Khan, Thunder Punch He-Man, Snake Armor He-Man, and good old Boltman, which I have only one of these figures because this wave is for some reason super hard to get. Especially Thunder Punch He-Man. I don't know why, but he's like super rare now. But yeah, this is pretty neat comic. Nothing else to say, but other than it's neat. Other than that, back to the review. But first, I'd like to show off with a couple of figures, namely interiors with Fangor, the Snake Man's Journal Engineer. Really pretty good together, and otherwise that's pretty much it. Because although I do technically own the other Snake Man, but the sadly won't be coming in till a little bit later. Because I did plan out to order them and for them to come in a little bit sooner, but sadly they just didn't come in, which sucks. But other than that, the general gimmick of King Hiss is obviously to shed his skin and general replace his limbs. First off, remove his arms, his head, and finally his armor piece, which can simply be clipped off like so. And with that, reveal his real torso, which is an amalgamation of a bunch of snakes. And you simply just have to plug on his arms and his head, or his real head, and now you have King Hiss and all of his gross and snakely glory. The only thing I really had to say, and this is kind of a hot take when it comes to most Smash Universe fans, okay, you, Richard Blasting, namely that is, I actually really like plug-on accessories. I know, shocker parts, forming, whatever. I like it. I'm fine with it. As long as it achieves the general gimmick and as long as still price playability, it still kind of serves its purpose as, yes, the character does do the thing it can do. And yes, it is a bummer that Cobra Khan can spray and can shoot out his general gas, whatever. But that's kind of the general cost now. You can't get it with deluxe figures, that is, with most of them. But yeah, it sucks, but that's what happens. You can't really change it, because it's kind of like beggars can be choosers type of deal, in my opinion. Aside from that, yeah, it's pretty good. General transformation. Just improved a lot of the original accessories, because originally but King Hiss was very floppy and flimsy. What will occasionally happen is that the figure's like arms just occasionally just pop off. Because of that, it's just general not very fun figure to play around with. But in this case, them being plugged on accessories, you get a lot more articulation, not only in the snake, true snake segment, King Hiss form, but also in the disguised one. You get a dumbbell held ball joint hinges on both of the arms, and also swivels. And that's mostly it. It's very simple, and in general gets the job done. It is a shame that it didn't incorporate the well seen in stop motions. You've seen them on the Mattel Creations YouTube channel, where they use Omar's had the heads be opened, but that's mostly just for the stop motion. And if you really wanted to, you can do what did in stop motion, just simply cut these heads off and put the King Hiss head on both of them. It looks pretty cool, but I just wish it was a part of the toy instead of being something seen only in the stop motion. But I wish you could tell him with more comparisons with the transformed versions of his fellow kin. And if you're curious, here he is with his arch nemesis in old, more ancient Master Universe lore, King Grayskull, who they both look pretty good together. I kind of like it. Hopefully they do, if you're kind of like interested in the 2000X series, release a 2000X version of King Grayskull, because I believe the comic book version where this general parent goes with has him in his 2000X design. But I'm kind of like perfectly fine with just a version of King Grayskull, which is basically the Revelations version, because it matches like the card art technically of Cobra Khan. Not Cobra Khan, but Kama Khan, which displays kind of like, I'm trying to flip it up, but it's quite large. In general, displays him, King Hiss, fighting the Revolution version of King Grayskull. It's pretty cool, but otherwise, that's mostly it for this general comparison. First off, once again, I should be showing him off with his fellow Snakeman from the original toy line, Tongue Lasher. It's a minor transformation, just flicking his tongue. The only thing that is somewhat interesting is that most of the Snakemen, and also most of all Motu general figures, have a gimmick with them. Some being very minor, others being quite major. The Snakemen were probably the most like influential when it comes to gimmicks, because all of them had gimmicks. Do you mean all of them had gimmicks? A lot of them being detrimental to those figures, others being very Playable, that is. Next up would be Fangor. Fangor is a lot more dramatic. His fangs are now extended and obviously ready to, impale or sting? No, bite. A hero. Cobra Khan, Camo Khan, has a cartoon-styled head. As a reference to, obviously, the cartoon version of Cobra Khan. You could use his head for Cobra Khan, but kind of look a little bit out of place since it's mostly colored to be for Camo Khan. But you could use it for Cobra Khan, which is, pretty neat. Besides from that, it's just him having his, I forgot what it's called. I put the name right here. It comes to the a Cobra's general main. Not general main, but general things. When it all splayed out when they're ready to strike. And in general, you can just kind of like him in the cartoon with Cobra Khan, where he's releasing his venom or toxic gas, sleeping gas, whatever the cartoon basically desires. If we call it correctly, it's like sleeping gas. And finally, we have Lady Slither, who's a lot more dramatic when it comes to her transformation. Similarly to King Hiss, where her entire body gets transformed, or more half of her body gets transformed into, a snake. I actually kind of like this. Just general pairing when it comes to design wise. The only thing I really am somewhat disappointed is that Lady Slither didn't really best to describe it. I wish she leaned a little bit more into the Medusa type of like design, because on that it's supposed to be kind of like a Medusa parody, but that's mostly just taken up by Snake Face. But otherwise, it's just a little bit of a missed opportunity. But I do understand that, because Snake Face just takes that general, or took that general niche already. But it's okay. Aside from that, that's all for day 4 of the 12 Days of War. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully I shall see you next time for day 5. Bye.